Hi everybody, it's time for another preschool lesson with Miss Lynn. I sure miss you guys and I can't believe we're going to go another Sunday without me getting to see you come in. But we have to follow the laws of the land, and our leaders say that we can't come to church right now because of this sickness that's going around. So I hope at home that you are covering your coughs and that you are washing your hands. And the biggest thing is that you're obeying your moms and dads, right? Because God wants us to do that, okay? So last week we learned about the fact that God's love is enough. No matter where we are or what we're doing, God's love is enough. Now here's the deal. I have so much love in me because I love Jesus and I'm so thankful for all the things He's done that now I have this love and I need to do something with it. Do you have that too? Do you know what God wants you to do? He wants you to love others. Now, and when I say the word others, that means a lot of different people, doesn't it? It means your brothers and your sisters. It means your moms and your dads. It means people that you might see at the store when we get out. It might mean your piano teacher or your gymnastics teacher or your school teachers. But we're supposed to love others. So right now I'm going to hold up some pictures and we're going to ask you some questions about the picture and see if you know what to do to show love to others. So here's the first picture. Pretend this is your little sister, and she wants to borrow your crayons. I know sometimes it's hard to share. Should you let her borrow your crayons, or should you go hide them in your room? Yes, we want to share with others, because when we do that, we are showing love to others. All right, here's the next one. So this one I think is like a dad and a daughter or a grandfather and a daughter, but it could be a grandfather and a son. It could be you and your grandma, okay? So here's the question. How can you show love to your parents or your grandparents? Think about that for a second. Right now it's kind of hard because we have to stay at home, but you could FaceTime them or send them a letter or a picture. Or you could call them on the phone, because God wants us to reach out and love others. So that's something we could do for our parents and our grandparents in our lives. Okay, here comes the third one. Ooh, look at that picture. That boy doesn't look very happy, does he? And this is kind of a sad one, but you're not going to be around this for a while. It says, if another kid at church is not nice to you, how could you show love to him? That's a hard one, isn't it? Okay? Sometimes it may be hard, but God will help you love others even if they don't show love to you. Maybe they're just having a bad day, or maybe they're sad, or maybe they're not feeling good. We just don't know. But you should treat them with love just like God would. Okay, here's our fourth one. Oh, it's a picture of some boys and girls at a cross. God's love for us will never end, will it? And He wants us to always love others too. So say this after me, okay? Others is the important word here, okay? Love others just like God would. Love others just like God would, okay? All right, here's number 5. You guys ready for number 5? All right, so what do we have in our picture this time? Uh-oh. If you think you are loving others by taking toys from them, stomp your feet. Should you be stomping your feet? If you wanted to love others, you would not take toys away. Instead, you would ask for a turn to play with the toy. Let me hear you all say, please, on the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Please. Okay. That's number 5. Here comes number 6. Ooh, what's this guy got that's kind of big? If you think you can love others by listening to them, show me 2 thumbs up. If you think you can love others by ignoring them, show me 2 thumbs down. We want to show love by listening to others and caring for them, okay? Listening to your friends and family is one way to show love for them. All right, so let's all click on our listening ears. We've got a couple more pictures left, okay? We've got number 7 and number 8. If I can find number 7, here you go. We got a couple of girls. Oh, look, Clap 3 times if you want to love others by being a good friend. You want to do that again? Let's clap again. We all want to be friends with our friends and love others, right? All right, so here's the last picture. This is number 8. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, that's an ice cream. That's a big ice cream cone. If your brother ate the last of the ice cream, should you get mad and yell at him? Or should you say, that's okay, we'll get more? Yes, God wants you to love others, even if we may feel sad or mad about something. Let me hear you say this after me one more time, okay? God wants us to love others. Let's do it again. God wants us to love others. Okay, now it's time for us to have our story. And our story today comes from the New Testament. And it's one of the coolest stories about Jesus because he does a miracle. Do you know what a miracle is? He makes something happen that nobody else can do. Only God can do miracles, and he does a great one. And this miracle takes place at a big picnic. How many of you like picnics? I love picnics. I love to sit outside and listen to the birds and listen to all the noise outside. And I love the sunshine on us. But I also love, it just seems like food tastes better when you're outside and you're either at a picnic table or you're sitting on a blanket out in the park. So our story today is about a big picnic. So I'm going to hold the pictures up to hold up the whole screen so you won't be able to see me. But I want you to look at the pictures while I read, okay? All right, here we go. Mary had come to listen to Jesus, but everyone was hungry. Jesus asked his disciples, "Why don't you feed them all?" They said, "We don't have enough money to buy bread for them all." That would be a problem, wouldn't it? "Well, how much food do you have?" asked Jesus. One of Jesus' helpers said, "Well, there's a boy here who has 5 loaves of bread." 5. And he has 2 little fish. 2. Jesus said, "Thank you to God for the bread and the fish that this little boy has." Then he broke them into pieces for his disciples to hand out. Wow, do you think they're going to have enough? Jesus passed out bread and fish. There were 5,000 men and lots of women and children too. There was enough bread and fish for all of the people. Wow, can you imagine? He fed all those people with that little boy's lunch sack? That's amazing. And remember, it's a miracle because only God can do miracles, right? Well, let's see how our finished story ends. The disciples gathered up 12 baskets of leftovers. Jesus loved the people, and he showed love to them by teaching them and making sure they had food to eat. God wants you and me to love others too. We can love others by being a good friend, sharing, and using our kind words. If you can love others, say with your families right now, love others. Point to somebody and say, love others. That's all you need to remember this week for our lesson is that Jesus wants us to love others.
Jesus had finished teaching. Everyone was hungry. "Send them away to buy food," his disciples said. But Jesus wanted to show the people that they could trust God. "Why don't you feed them?" Jesus asked. "It would take a year's wages to buy bread for them all," his disciples cried. "How much food do you have?" asked Jesus. "There is a boy here," said Andrew, "who has 5 loaves of bread and 2 little fish." Jesus smiled. "Perfect. Tell the people to sit down on the grass." So the people sat down all over the mountainside. Jesus thanked God for the bread and the fish. Then he broke them into pieces for his disciples to hand out. Jesus' disciples passed out bread and fish to the whole crowd. There were 5,000 men and lots of women and children too. Everyone ate as much as they wanted. Afterwards, the disciples gathered up the leftovers. There were 12 baskets full, from just 5 loaves and 2 fish. The people knew they could trust God to care for them.